everyone, and welcome back to Cryptid Zoo. Today, we are covering a very infamous cryptid from the south, I want to say. The southern hemisphere. Maybe not the hemisphere. I don't know my geography too well.
It's blitzed everywhere, dude. But
yeah.
Most of the south.
Yeah. We are tackling the Chupacabra. I want to call it one of the big three, but maybe it's one of the big, like, top 10 cryptids in America. But who knows? It depends who you ask and, where you're asking. And this actually marks the start of a little trend that I have going on Cryptid Zoo, where JC is going to be covering this cryptid. I have given him full control and range over the notes, everything. I have very limited knowledge on what I do know, and JC did all the work. So as such, I am going to give him the spotlight, and I am once again going to be the little voice in your right ear, sort of whispering sweet nothings into your ear, convincing you to do major crimes. Fellas, did anyone know anything about the Chupacabra, or is this everyone's first time hearing about it?
I've known before even doing this research. I just had to really go in depth with this one, but I've known a decent bit. Brendan, you know anything?
Heard bits and pieces. Nothing too in depth, but
I mean, most of the folklore is sort of self-contained to South. Is it in South America? I want to say it's contained to South America, to the border of Mexico and the United States. So
yeah,
most of it's out of our range. But it's still an interesting one.
Very much so. Well, let's jump right into this. You want me to give you guys a description?
Yeah.
All right, sick.
I'm turning into Chupa Nick.
Okay. So the most common accounts of the Chupacabra is a lizard-like creature that is almost alien in description. It stands on 2 feet, about 3 to 4 feet tall, and it has spikes and quills running down its back. The skin that it has been described as greenish or grayish, rough leather skin. And although that's strange, it only gets more odd because it hops around in similar fashion to a rabbit or a kangaroo. More so, in all its odd fashion, all of its victims are left with holes or puncture wounds that are usually in the neck, sometimes in the chest, depends.
Like a little vampire rabbit. Funicula. Anyone remember that book? I do. That shit gave me nightmares in 2nd grade.
I don't. What books were you reading?
It was about a vampire rabbit or vampire bunny that got adopted, and he was like, wow. He was killing people.
Yo, it's 2nd grade?
Yeah. Like, this was back when we still had, like, kids shows cutting off people's heads and letting the blood splatter everywhere.
What do you mean? What kid shows are you watching? I was watching Looney Tunes.
They did on Looney Tunes, just remove the blood and gore. They were cutting people in half. I think it's very interesting to note that the Chupacabra almost is alien in description, as there's very limited information on it, specifically appearance wise. And for the most part, the only other thing it's sort of reminiscent of is a dinosaur. And even then it's that's not a dinosaur.
All right, then. Let me get into the first case file, if you guys don't mind.
Yeah.
In 1975, a chain of livestock killings happened in Moca, Puerto Rico, in which not long after, rumors and speculation began that it was the fault of a satanic cult that had bled each of the animals dry. Flash forward 20 years to March of 1995, in which the first killings credited to the Chupacabra had occurred in Puerto Rico, where 8 sheep had been found dead with piercing wounds in the chest as well as being left drained.
I do want to note that is a really weird occurrence. I imagine if I don't know, in the town that we live in, we woke up tomorrow and the headline is dozens of birds found around our elementary school with their brains missing. And then they're like, what was the cause of this? Coyotes. It's no, what?
You're wrong.
It's animals being completely drained of blood is such a wild thing, especially if there's no spillover from the soil around it.
Then again, in August, another occurrence of killed livestock with no blood, but this time with a lot more deaths and a witness account. About 150 farm animals and pets were documented as victims of the Chupacabra.
Hold on, 150?
Yeah, 150.
Holy shit.
So this
Yeah,
is
that's
a
a lot.
massive jump.
That's wild.
And like I said, farm animals and pets. So it wasn't just like cows and like chickens. These were,
Biscuit,
like,
come here.
dogs.
Biscuit.
Yeah. Biscuit's not coming back, homie.
Dude, Biscuit got his gravy sucked. Pause. Hold on. Whoa.
Yo.
I don't.
Eyewitness Madeline Tolentino reported seeing the Chupacabra and stating that it resembled the creature named Syl from the 1995 science fiction movie Species. She said specifically it was a creature that had a cone head, fangs, and quilled spikes on its back, along with pale, leathery skin. At the time, Madeline thought that the events of the movie were actually taking place in Puerto Rico. This then sparked a 5-year investigation not long after, launched by a man named Benjamin Radford, in which he said he thought the account was untrustworthy because of her seeing the movie before.
Okay. So there was a phenomenon around it, kind of like with a couple of the other cryptids we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a talk of the town.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, 150 animals, somebody's got to be talking, dude.
I think even if it was a cult, just 150 is wild. And for not a single person to spot it?
Yeah, that's crazy because and if it wasn't clear enough, Madeline didn't like watch any of the animals get killed.
Mm-hmm.
She just said she saw.
Which even then, it's like there are instances where you do need to see it, and then there are other instances where it's like the actions sort of speak for themselves. I think they're all unique enough to where it's like it sort of discredits like a wild animal mauling.
I don't even know what to think. Do you have any thoughts, Brendan?
Could you even really consider it mauling if they were drained of their blood?
I mean, technically speaking, mauling is just sort of like an animal attack, and even then, like, yeah, it from everything it sounds like they were, irregardless, just kind of puncture wound and dead.
Yeah, I don't really feel like that's necessarily a maul. I feel like a maul is more gruesome than that, with a little bit more guts spilling out. But if there's just a puncture wound and their blood's just getting taken, then that really sounds pretty docile to me.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I said it's almost to the point where you can't even really like credit it to a wild animal mauling.
But yeah, no, it almost sounds like there's something else doing it.
Yeah,
not a chupacabra. Unless it is.
The chupacabra is you know, I should stop jumping the gun. I'll let JC do his thing, then I'll interject and at the end.
You know what?
Nick's about to yank the reins from JC and be like, "Give me that shit."
Nick's walking in here, I guess. Let's skip past case file 2, active theories.
In 1926.
The cactus were drinking blood. The cactus walk.
Dude, that's a conspiracy theory that I actually do believe in, by the way.
I only know that from what was it, Rango?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into case file number 2. On May 6th, 2017, a supposed creature had killed 35 animals in Cortez, Honduras. Not much longer after, eyewitness Nelly David Martinez had saw and heard something wandering around his property, to which he caught only a glimpse of this creature. He was frozen with fear. However, he did notice one thing, and that was that all the animals that he could see were dropped to the floor. I think specifically he's talking about like in fear. I don't think it's like zooming around at anime speed.
Maybe it is.
And draining the blood. I don't think it is.
Maybe No, that's a wacky thought. I was gonna be like, maybe the blood's giving him strength. That's so ridiculous.
It's Dracula.
Yeah, but Nicula.
Okay. I'm not gonna acknowledge you anymore or that.
I want attention.
In June 2017, Nanigalito, Ecuador, 59-year-old Casimiro Flores encountered the creature. He was going about his day like normal till he heard a noise. Slowly turning around and facing the source of the noise, he saw a brown dog-looking creature with pointed ears. Casimiro noticed it was waist level to him and closing distance. Casimiro was then cornered and dragged around, but managed to grab onto a rock during the struggle.
Dude's getting tossed around like a chew toy. Yeah, that was the direct description that I read, by the way. So it wasn't me being hyperbolic. They did say it was dragging him around. Yeah, just a dog doing that. I think even like, irregardless of what you think the Chupacabra is, the fact that a dog is able to drag around this fully grown man, assuming he's not my size, that's just wild. Imagine dog like
walks into your backyard and just starts dragging you around. You're like, hey, must be a coyote.
Yeah, I'd be like, guess I'll die. I won't even fight back. I'm built like drywall.
You don't have to be that harsh on yourself. I'm about to get back into the story. You immediately start commenting on how like fragile you're built.
I was born with glass bones and paper skin.
Casimiro was then cornered and dragged around, but managed to grab onto a rock during the struggle and threw it at the creature's head. The rock made a solid impact, making the creature let out a shriek, then retreating into the night. In July 2017, Riverside, California, witness Carrie Sugar's cat raced inside. Noticing this, Carrie then looked outside to see, quote, the ugliest looking thing, end quote, staring right back at him, about 80 feet from him. Its teeth were jagged and pointing out in every direction. Its skin rippled and a tail like a possum. Carrie said it looked nothing like a coyote. More so, it was bigger than any coyote you would ever see. It was then spotted later again that day by somebody else. MJ Bunt had seen what she described as the ears of a deer, long snout, no hair, tail like a rat, and long hindquarters.
Could you imagine being like a trailer park denizen, just being on acid and then that thing comes out?
You'd trip it on shrooms.
I'd lose it, dude. That'd be so scary.
You probably imagine it as a werewolf knowing you.
Oh my god, dude. I don't even know what I'd do.
It's a little smaller than I imagined, but it's still a werewolf.
Dude, if there was like a 2 sized werewolf like running at me, dude, I'd still piss myself. It's a werewolf. You don't get to be picky.
Oh my goodness. All right, so there is some things that I did want to add. There is
additional details.
Yeah, some little additional stuff that I'm going to throw in there is, even though through all these sightings, there's been a couple sightings in Michigan. So
we got the Michigan Chupacabra.
Last episode, I brought it up as a joke. He's here. There's been sightings here.
That's wild. The Chupacabra and the dog man just hanging out.
Yeah, they're kicking it up here, man.
Yeah.
Kicking it. And also, one of the many that were sighted in Michigan, might add, February the 2nd, 2023.
Oh, that was like yesterday.
Some lady called the police and claimed that there was a chupacabra and a capybara inside and outside of her apartment complex.
She wasn't concerned about the chupacabra. At the very least, she was concerned about the capybara.
the me. Okay, so when I was reading through this,
have a coconut doggy in this apartment complex.
I was thoroughly convinced that she was like on drugs of some sort, and it came across like the okay, I pull up meme. Okay, I pull up, and then it's just a capybara in the driver's seat. So that was majority of the additional detail right there, was that funny little thing that I spotted. But I will come back and say it wasn't a chupacabra. She was really intoxicated, and it was probably just some animal.
Yeah.
But the police were dispatched to the place and like looked around.
They shot the capybara on site. It's unfortunate. He had a knife. It's just a really thirsty boy.
Really, really thirsty, man. He was like, I'm looking for some Kool-Aid.
He like gets to the end of his spree. He's like, I didn't know. They're like, get out of here, you little scamp. 150 pets. No. It's fine.
150 capybaras, not cool. But pets, whatever.
Just a rolling countryside of bloodthirsty capybaras.
What if the capybara is the chupacabra?
Don't entertain that thought. I'm
entertaining that thought.
I like that.
Guys, active theories, guys. Active theories.
Active theories. Capnicula.
All right, that's it. I'm stopping you there. So the first active theory, I had to go there, had to do it to him. Aliens. So the theory is that the chupacabra is probably a pet or a offshoot that came to Earth long ago, and the spikes in its back allow it to hide out of sight and fly.
Fly. My man Chupacabra connecting to the Wi-Fi and just creative moding.
Just connected to the North Pole and the South Pole.
Like, check this shit out. Just slingshots himself.
Not actual flight. He's like telepathically yanking himself.
Yeah. I mean, that's all flight really is.
I mean, I guess.
It depends what iteration you're looking at. See, here's the thing. I very much like the idea that he's like a little alien dog that they just sort of lost. They came here for like a tourism thing or something, and they were like, "All right, we gotta go." And they were like, "You remember to pack the pet, right?"
Jeffrey? Where's Jeffrey?
Where'd he go?
Where's Jeffrey?
They like come down to fix it, and they're like 150. Oh,
You were feeding him pomegranate juice.
oh, dude, the Galactic Federation's gonna throw us away for a long time if we cop to this.
Just leave him there.
Just leave him. Just leave him. And they're like, "How did a Flurb Neon get to Earth?" They're like, "I don't know." Point is, I like it.
All right. Anyways, moving on to the second theory. There is an extinct race of dog or dog-like creatures called thylacine.
Fact checker Nick will look this up.
Thylacine.
Oh yeah, I know about these.
And they are completely extinct. However, there is a running theory that they aren't extinct and that the few that survived have mated so much in their own gene pool that they are deformed dogs.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I think the theory's trash. I think it has no place on the Earth. The thylacines died a long time ago. It's the age of the. Ooh, I was gonna go there.
Oh, all right. So
I was gonna go back to capybaras.
We need to put a muzzle on you.
Yeah, literally. I like this is not a joke. I need one.
We took like the title of host of the episode away from you, and you just lost your wits. Like your
you just went insane.
Yeah,
he can't handle it.
Started spouting nonsense about critical race theory.
Capybara superior.
This is what happens when I don't have like a image to uphold. I just go wild.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the third theory, and I really like.
Sorry, hold on. Before we go to the third theory, I just want to point out the thylacines. This is not important at all, but the thylacines have a pouch. And TMI, everyone, but they have a pouch right where their nutsack should be.
Yo.
Like right above their ass.
Yo.
They keep little possums in there.
Possums?
I mean, that's what I mean, they could be its babies. I don't know. Here's
the third theory.
Here's an image.
No.
Here's the image.
The third theory are spirits of the dead. So way back in Puerto Rico, their culture has had a lot of spirit related things. And one of the things being that the spirits there could be complete shapeshifters with killer intent, or malevolent or malicious, say what you will. But one of the many things is that they could shapeshift into owls or bats, things like that. And so, let it explain itself. Shapeshifting Chupacabra.
I think I've always kind of entertained the idea of like the manifestation of man's will, as that there's a whole thing about creationism that sort of delves into religion that I don't want to tackle. But the idea, generally speaking, is that with enough like heavy emotions and will, that the universe will spin things into existence. And I think it's very possible that in some form the spirits of the dead or the culture around of which the Chupacabra circulated sort of birthed this monster. Do I love it? Well, we'll get to that at the end, but I don't think it's the worst theory I ever heard.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. So logical theories, let's get into them. Let me explain this away.
The proof. It's called the proof.
The proof.
Put an echo on it.
Put an echo on it. The proof. Anyways,
we'll get you a little soundbite, JC.
Thanks. Editor, add JC Google here. Anyway, the proof is
he can do that now. He's hosting it.
Mm-hmm. You can tell me to do whatever you want.
I can.
That silence is way too alarming.
Post it.
Please, you didn't make any post-its.
Here's the post-it. I don't have a post-it. End post-it.
Stop saying that word. It summons it.
Post-it. Anyway. The proof is that there are dogs with mange everywhere. And they are wild dog breeds. Not just like coyotes, but like a mix of different genetics. and there is mites on those dogs that burrow under the skin of coyotes or other dogs, and it makes them hairless and very weak. And so they tend not to fully kill their prey and just end up biting holes in their necks. And, you know, the prey gets away and ends up dying from internal bleeding.
Oh, wild. Ugh.
The second proof, I'm going to add this a little bit in there. Such thing as vampire bats. They exist in Puerto Rico, and vampire bats do in fact feed on cattle, pigs, dogs. Occasionally they attack a human, but usually don't get far. So
Okay. The first proof all by itself, I was like, no, not having it. But then the vampire bats, I'm like, okay, maybe they're working together. Maybe they're communing.
Vampire bats are cute little guys.
They're little mans.
Very, very, very adorable little,
They're little fellas. But if it flew at me, I'd freak the hell out.
Very fair. I will say, however, vampire bats aren't everywhere. They are very, they like warm areas. So
yeah,
definitely not the Michigan Chupacabra.
That's me coded as hell.
Why are you in Michigan?
I'm forced to be here.
Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I feel like I cut you off, Brendan. I thought you were going to say something. Were you going to say something? Go ahead.
No, I was just getting something out of my throat.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Let's get to it, brothers. And there's no sister. Brothers and brothers. Do we like it?
Whoa. Back it up.
Back it up. Put it in reverse.
You forgot to ask us.
So, what theories do you like?
Taylor Lautner. I really like the alien one. I'm not a fan of the proof though, even though I know I just said blah, 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 blah. I think the proof is a attempt at a rational explanation, which sometimes, most of the time, it's very credible, but even then it's like the phenomenon was so widespread that it's hard to believe that vampire bats and mange dogs were tag teaming. I still don't think it's plausible, really. I'm dragging on my section. I'll wrap it up.
Mm-hmm.
I like the alien dog, and that's about it, really.
Brendan, what do you like?
I like a lot of things. I think I'm going to have to be a little bit more specific and say that I think the mange dog theory was really interesting. Because, I mean, you can't necessarily determine, yes, there are different qualities of what a dog may look like after it has been infected with mange, but it could look completely different than the next dog or the next dog, and that could also make people believe, oh my goodness, there are multiple chupacabras, and would also bring up the fact that the chupacabra has appeared in multiple different areas.
The thylacine, I really like that.
Nutsack dog.
So I really like the alien theory. It flying around is really cool. I also like so the thylacine I really like because I think it's really cool just to think that in an extinct animal, it didn't go extinct, it evolved, it adapted with Earth, like they say that things do. This also gives me high hopes for the dodo still existing somewhere out there. Please.
That'd be pretty cool.
Please.
Do you guys like it?
Do we like it?
We'll give this to Brendan.
Oh my goodness. I'd say it's interesting. I don't necessarily dislike it nor like it. I think all the theories that have been presented to us and the stories have all varied. You know what? Yeah, he's pretty cool. He's aight.
Do I like it? That's a good question. JC!
Oh my god. Let me get the speaking stick. All right. I have the speaking stick, class.
Give it back to Todd.
No.
Give it back to Todd.
I think we should be able to speak whenever. I proceed to break the speaking stick into threes and hand a piece to each of us.
No! I have to give an opinion now!
Hey, Nick, what do you think?
Holy
do you
shit.
like it?
I thought I just saw a plushie move in the corner of my eye.
The Chupa's moving it.
I like the Chupacabra simply for the legend and also the fun little shenanigans that come along with it.
I like it. It's neat. How could I not like the Chupacabra? It is a long-time cryptid favorite of mine. I don't think it's a top 5, but definitely a top 7 maybe. Treasure hunt.
Oh!
I'm going to give you gentlemen 3 minutes to find a piece of merch that you guys like. starting now. Welcome back from the 3 minutes. You gentlemen have your merchandise.
Yeah.
Since Brendan was the first one to lock in here, Brendan, let me see what you got, homie.
So I have a 3D printed skeleton of a chupacabra that is like an action figure. And it has a nice little pamphlet that comes with it too, explaining the anatomy and some of the backstory. And you can shape it in any way you like.
You can.
It is literally
cool.
an action figure.
Chat, this is cool, chat. Alrighty then, Mr. Nervous Nick, Mr. Lockin' and Unlock.
Yo. Don't insult me.
It's not an
Mr.
insult.
Struggling to put a screenshot in the chat.
I'll have you know, I got it right here. I picked a shirt. Now, rest assured, this is a shirt, but this is the image I found for it of the Chupacabra celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Well, the shirt matters. It's the quality.
Well, here, I'll find, like, I can screen share the shirt, but this is the...
Is it like a plain shirt or like...
No. That is the shirt.
Okay.
And then, you know, whether or not this is cheating or not, there are other variants of the shirt down here.
No, that's cheating. Nope, that's cheating.
Oh, I'm showing them anyways. So
Scroll back up. Nope, scroll back up.
showing them anyways.
Chat,
If you
he's
don't like
cheating.
it, then you can ignore it.
Mods ban him.
But this is the shirt that I am presenting.
Okay. I like it. Let's see. Thoroughly looking at this. I do really like how the chupa that you got, Nick. I like how the little like the spinal spike sticking out from under the hat.
Yeah. A little
It's
forehead
dope.
spike.
It's dope. He's got a little poncho. He's got some alcohol. He's not a lightweight. He's got 2 cups of this, dude. Gonna say, with all due respect, I really like what Nick put out here, and so I'm just gonna have to say I'm gonna give the win to Brendan. I really like the little like figurine, dude. That's something I could totally see like planting on my desk. That's dope. No, I really did like both of them, but I really do like Brendan's. It's the little can that comes with it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, dude. That's dope.
All handmade.
Alrighty
Except
then.
for the chupacabra that was from a 3D printer.
That's assumedly so. Let's get into the encounters. So, you two are in the hot desert of Puerto Rico. Actually, you know, as a matter of fact, you're in the city of Puerto Rico. Mocha, I think it was called, or it's like Mocha or Maca. You guys, whatever. You guys are marching through the city. It's a late night. You guys are chilling, and you hear a scuttle down an alleyway. Soon enough, you see big glaring red eyes and something charging towards you. Boom. Chupacabra. What are you guys doing?
Kicking in its face.
I grab Todd by the ankles and I use him as a weapon to hit the chupacabra.
I spoke first. I'll point that out.
I think both go through, but I think this is in the organization that it goes. Nick, you proceed to kick it in its face. It stumbles backwards and then proceed to feel a grip around your ankles in which you are picked up, and this thing is home runned. The chupacabra is rolled into the back of the alley. The chupacabra stands up and begins to fly towards Nick, then
Holy
grabbing
shit! I
onto
forgot it
him
could fly.
and blood sucking him. The chupacabra drops Nick's lifeless and dry corpse.
I look like
he
the
crumbles
grandma
like
from
drywall.
SpongeBob.
He crumbles like drywall when he hits the floor. The chupacabra's levitating slowly towards you, Brendan.
I'm gonna sit up and go, Brendan.
It drains
Get
Brendan's
up, you
corpse.
fucking pussy.
It drains Brendan's corpse. Nick, your paralyzed, immovable body as you watch Brendan getting drained of all of his blood.
I guess I'm just gonna watch it, dude. Can I get a wheelchair? Can I get a wheelchair and finish the cosplay?
You you get a wheelchair, but before you can fully get onto the wheelchair, you notice that David the capybara is sitting in that wheelchair.
Whoa, he's chill like that. I'm gonna take his
And
seat.
The chupacabra flies away. Sick. All right. Let's be honest. We're gonna take this into death battle.
All right.
How far is it making it, gentlemen?
It could fly up to Mothman. So get that shit out of here. Get that weak shit out of
It's
here.
got stealth mode and it can fly.
Lizard Man's getting fucking destroyed.
Yeah. I'll give it that. It was dragging around an older man. I'd say give this a peak Chupacabra.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think the lizard man's gonna beat the Chupacabra.
Hmm.
In my
You want
eyes,
to
the
elaborate?
Chupacabra is basically a baby lizard man, and the lizard man's a fully grown lizard man, to say the least. At the very least, while the Chupacabra has, like, I don't know, if you really want to give it flight, which, let's be honest, I don't think any of us like fully believe that. Even still, I think the lizard man far surpasses it in strength and durability. So I think the lizard man's gonna take it. So we're gonna put it just a notch above Mothman.
That's fair.
Settle it
Honestly,
beneath Lizard Man.
I could see it maybe taking Lizard Man, but I guess then again it would have to get lucky. Let's be honest here. This thing was vampire-esque. It wasn't really like mauling things, so it doesn't really have much attack power.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, who's to say that it wasn't put in a scenario where it needed to attack anything?
Well,
What
it
if prey
hasn't.
was just weak enough for it to go for the kill blow and then have it be done and over with?
150 of them, though?
That's fair. And this thing on record has stayed away from humans.
Mm-hmm.
So afraid of us, might I add.
What about that one guy in the alleyway?
That happens every now and then.
True, that's
Gets
true.
testy.
It does. Dragging them at. Well, I mean, he threw a rock at it and it ran. So
Yeah. It was like, oh, he can fight.
after everything you've heard, all the stories, theories, and well, everything overall, gentlemen, do you think it could be real?
I believe the Chupacabra is nothing more than just a misinterpretation for a sick dog with mange.
Okay.
I don't necessarily think, I don't think there's actually a Chupacabra. I think it's just a misinterpretation.
I personally believe the inverse. I think that the situation and the events are far too specified to leave it open to mange or whatever. And even if like all the victims weren't completely drained, I think the fact sort of with the same puncture wounds and also like just the sheer scale in which this thing attacked South America, I'm guessing South America. I think that it's big enough to where I can confidently put my money on it being real. You know, whatever our interpretation of it is, maybe not. I don't know, but I like to go out on a limb and say yes. I think Chupa is out and about. Finish the sentence.
Okay. Personally, the Chupacabra, I think it could be real. I'll take my chances here. I'll take my odds and ends. I think, like Nick said, I think things are a little too specific. Whether it be mange dogs or vampires, bats. I feel like things are a little too specific in how things died, and with all the slaughterings and all the sightings, I feel like, some of them may be fake, majority of them, yeah. But I'm going to give credit to those who have seen them, and even like cutting off the interpretation of how Americans kind of took it and was like rat dog. I'm talking about the lizard Chupacabra. Yeah, I think it's out there. Maybe, possibly.
Little fella.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a fun one. He's a fun one.
He's very fun.
No matter what story you have, it always comes down to the Chupacabra doing something a little goofy. And I think that's the best kind of cryptid. So, any closing thoughts? Fellas?
I think that's it. I'm done hosting.
Everyone, please give a round of applause personally for JC. He did a wonderful job on this episode. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. Hopefully in the near future we can see some more Latin American cryptids, because they're always an interesting rabbit hole
this episode
to go down to. Ladies and gentlemen, and everyone that is not a lady or gentleman, I want to thank you for listening to this episode. Please come back next time when we tackle the Thunderbird.
See you later. Bye, guys.